Hi friends, Susan Axelrod here, the Confidence Coach. Welcome to the Confidence Zone. Are you coachable? Are you coachable? When I heard this conversation that somebody was having about how he is very coachable and has spent many, many, many thousands of dollars in his career working with coaches all along the way, staying long term with some and still working over here with another or another on specific areas. He referenced being 10 years with one coach and their group, and I can relate to this. I'm lucky and blessed to have several long-term clients working with me. I listened and I asked myself, I challenged myself, as I often do. If I'm going to ask a clarifying question to a client, sometimes it feels challenging. So I do the work myself and I asked myself, am I coachable? Am I coachable? Well, this is a very big question for a coach to ask. Certainly, if you follow me, you've heard me talk about the ability that I have to self-observe, right? Observation is a very important part about coaching. Coaching comes into the workspace with you and into the private space and generates observations from hopefully an intuitive experience or expertise. And so I practice the skill of being self-observing quite a bit. But am I coachable? So this is a little bit hard for me because in my past type A perfectionist days, I had a healthy ego. And having a healthy ego in part does come from privilege. So I'm lucky and blessed to have been born where I was born, to whom I was born, how I was born, where I was born, and all the things. All of that, as Warren Buffett says, was out of my control. Then I did show up. I did the work. Starting in my very young teenage years, I stepped up and stepped into leadership. I willingly and happily participated in leadership training programs. Later in my early career, I happily participated every year, frequently throughout the year. In those days, they were called trainings, but now I know I had some good mentors, advisors, and coaches myself as a young professional, which is one of the reasons I love working with young professionals, and I want to work with more young professionals. So I know I was coachable then. Then you come later into your career. You've been in the career 10 years, 12 years, 14 years, 15, 17 years. And I was still young because I started my career at 22. When I happened into it, I loved it. So by 32 years old, I had been doing it full on for 10 years. And by 37, still pretty young, I was a seasoned professional. So then there's something that comes up for me when thinking about this idea, am I coachable or on being coachable, about arrogance and about willingness to listen and receive others' expertise. And so I would be a fool to deny that there were many years that I really knew that I knew it all, in part because I worked really hard for it and at it, and also because my intuition showed itself to me early in my career. And in that way, I was very clear on that. Later, you come into a stage of life where suddenly you're not so confident anymore. And that's when people find me and hire me as a confidence coach to work with them. This may even be as a later young professional. It may be as a woman going back to work or transitioning beyond the empty nest stage, or a man transitioning in his career, perhaps looking at the later phase and saying, I'm done reporting to others. I have an idea, I have expertise, and I want to, make it on my own. I have no idea how to do that. I can help you with that. And so I know that in the last decade and a half, I have been very coachable. When you're in your intuitive space and you learn to trust your intuition, it's important that you're never coached away from your intuition. So I guess what the real truth is it's hard to find a coach to work with you if you're deeply into your intuitive space. But there's lots of intuitive coaches out there, and all you need to do is the work to find one and bring them in and invite them, ask them, open up to them, and then receive. Am I coachable? So I know that I have a big yes because I've hired friends to coach me. And I've worked with friends. Sometimes perhaps there was no money exchanging, but in a collaborative way in which I have been happy to be coached and wanting to be coached. And perhaps it's in a slice area. But I will say that without a doubt, my biggest transformative years in my work as a coach, growing my own business, this new business from my other career work that I did, working independently for 30 plus years, I was working with a great coach, Jen Lederer. I can easily call out Jen. She's so amazing. And also, I've worked with Cornelia Stephanie as a coach in various ways. And then there was Wendy Lipton Dibner, who wasn't formally my coach, but I made her my coach by being a fan, a follower, and a friend. I feel like I was coached by Wendy because she's put out such great material in her books and her videos, and so much in her what I call legacy library that I could learn from her. And I consider her a coach of mine. So yeah, I am coachable. Still, there are some things where I'm in resistance. And if you know my last book, the title of my last book is called In Soul Alignment. So one of the things I love about these lives is I do them organically. A topic shows itself to me. Maybe I hear it like I did this time, or I think of it, it comes to me however they come to me. And then I come here, speak out, share, and allow things to come in, and ask myself questions like this, and then explore more deeply. So there may be areas in which I'm not that coachable, but if that's the case, it's because why? I'm so deep in my intuition space. That's what the intuitive business system really is predicated upon. I'm so deep in my intuition space, nobody else can coach me on my intuition space. And so if you're confident, my tagline is soul confidence leads to legacy. When you work with me, you become soul confident, and then you can really trust yourself and be in alignment with your purpose and go rock it. So I want to ask you and invite you to consider, are you coachable? If you are, I want to work with you. I love working with coachable people. I have a handful or more of clients I've been working with for many years because they keep growing and evolving and transforming in a confident way. While also I have other clients who come in and work with me for 6 months and then move on. So if you're coachable, I want to work with you. If you don't know if you're coachable, then contact me and let's get a discovery call going. And if you don't know what happens when you work with a coach, then by all means, start Googling it. People love working with coaches. And the person I heard say this was a very high level, mega millionaire, multiple business owner, Mr. Big, basically. And he said that he's always working with one or more coaches. And so I myself am going to consider this as I go forward as well. Who's out there who can support me to go in the next direction that I want to go? Because yes, I am coachable. Okay, friends, that's it for today in the Confidence Zone. If you'd like to see if you're coachable, contact me for a discovery call. My discovery calls are fun, easy, long, and free with no obligation. And if you'd like to contact me, just reach out to me on the platform you're seeing this video. Thanks. See you again soon.